film starts with Max, who's the protagonist, waking up in hospital and seeing people talking outside the hospital room. And then a detective walks in and starts to accuse him of murder that happened the night before. And then a nurse or a doctor walks in to tell him that he's had short-term amnesia because of the head injury that obviously happened on the night before when the murder took place. Max decides to discharge himself from the hospital because he wants to find out what happened, because he's being accused of murder and he doesn't remember what's going on. So he decides to ignore the detective and run home in the rain, obviously, and pack a bag. So then he goes to his best mate Spud's house, aka Adrian, for help and advice to find out what happened and where they went. Spud tries to tell Max to leave it all to the police, but Max doesn't want to pay any attention to him because he's going to get accused of murder. And then Spud's reluctant to answer his questions and leads him to the wrong pub. And then Lily, who is
the love interest, I don't know whether she's going to be a girlfriend or not.
She's going to be there and cause some sort of argument between Spud and Max because his girlfriend's at his best mate's house.
Max goes to the wrong pub and he sees someone from the night before and he has a flashback of their face, so he sees them, he recognises them, but he doesn't know where he is or what happened. He goes to the bathroom to wash his face, and when he comes out he sees the person leave him. He follows this person and asks them about the night before and finds out that it was not the club that he went to, and this character tells him which pub they actually went to. Max goes to the actual club and he sees some smashed glass and a wallet or ID on the floor, and it looks like there's some victim's blood, so this is where the murder was going to have taken place. He goes in search of the victim and he goes back to the detective to help him find out who he is, and he starts to gradually recognise the victim's face, so on the ID you can have flashbacks of who he is and you might start to remember what has happened. He finds out that the victim is dead, so he knows that there's been a crime that's happened and someone's been murdered. And he gradually starts to remember what has happened, and we're going to show this through the use of flashbacks and stuff. Max goes home, Spuddy's there and he acts concerned, and then he demands to know what Max has found out about everything, so he's starting to get a bit panicky and he knows he's going to be found out. Spud becomes aggressive and Max starts to have flashbacks showing what actually happened, and he starts to realise that it was actually his best friend who murdered the victim because he witnessed it, and then the crime is revealed through Max's flashbacks. That's basically it. But question one is, which of these possible endings would work best? Would it work better if the best friend was the one who actually killed the victim? Would it work better if the girl had killed the victim? Would it be better if the main character killed the victim or any other characters? What are your thoughts?
It would be good if he goes through all these flashbacks and you kind of incriminate him throughout the whole thing, so the audience think it's him, but then it's actually someone else, maybe someone he knows, or maybe a complete stranger.
Yeah, I'd say like for the whole thing you think it's him, then right at the end it shows you that say it is the best friend.
Yeah.
Changed it completely.
Yeah. He's trying to hide it.
Yeah.
And any ideas? They're the three ideas we've got for the possible names.
I just wrote on that.
There was a third.
I can't remember.
Um,
But we need some
Any
ideas and
ideas?
names as well.
between those two or a different idea.
I think out of them two I prefer this still.
Yeah.
I gotta go with Here Lies the Truth, because it's got a mysterious sense about it, and it kind of here lies the truth, and the audience don't see until they actually get to the film. But here is actually in his mind, so I think that's quite a clever name. I'd go with that one.
Really like it because when the film's progressing, you're finding out like the same things that the main characters find out.
Yeah.
So, and because throughout the film, the audience could be thinking, oh, maybe it's him. It's a bit more tense because you could see that bit of evidence which says, oh, it's him. And not only would it make me like, oh, it's a bit, you know, but it would make the main character as well. So I like it.
Yeah. It kind of reminds me of this other media product called Heavy Rain. It's quite similar to it, and I think if you did some research into this product, you might get some ideas from it.
That's a video game.
Yeah.
Media product it is.
I like the idea of the flashbacks as well. Like everything could revolve around the victim, or whatever. Like you could have, say, people dancing or whatever, people having drinks, but this person's always in a. Yeah, I think it is.
In the synopsis that you read out, I think I'm kind of leaning towards guilty, but if I wanted to choose the ending, I'd make him innocent. But the way you put it, I believe that he's guilty.
Because
Is that maybe what you're supposed to
The
do?
crime, the murder thing.
or helping in some way. I think he could have helped.
You think the main character's guilty of the crime?
Or involved in some way.
Involved in
Or
some
didn't
way.
actually
Yeah,
do.
I think you make out that he's guilty or whatever for the whole film, and then right at the end it's changed to the fact that he's not. But I suppose because he's the closest person to him, so it'd be
Yeah.
sort of makes the most sense.
Do you think that's a bit too obvious?
If
Or
you
would
make
it
out that
just be-
he's the person throughout the whole film, I don't think it will.
It's a little cliched, but I mean, you could say it was one of the other group friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, well,
probably assume it was being run.
yeah. I'd probably cover all my tracks, sever ties to people, fake my own death, and leave town.
Don't know,
But it is a bit
you want to work
in-depth.
out what happened, wouldn't you, really?
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, I suppose so.
At the beginning, yeah. But then,
At the beginning, but when he gets aggressive, we kind of lose all kind of sympathy for him.
I'd have said either the knife or the bottle because the knife could have been concealed or like the bottle could have been broken. I'd have said one of them two. I would have said.
I'd probably go with the rock because if you use the rock and kill them, and then you can travel far, wash it off the rock and just throw the rock anywhere, and a lot of the time people don't look at rocks, so it's a less obvious murder weapon.
The fact you mentioned broken glass is when you were describing it before, the synopsis
Yeah.
sort of tells me that the glass really would have been.
yeah, because you know, a lot of things like fights and stuff could happen, so it's a believable location for something like that.
What about the other locations? We've got a hospital as well, and we've got, that's supposed to be a road. We didn't know if we used a road or a car park where it
A
actually,
car
where the
park.
murder actually happens.
Behind the back of the club. Or like on the street, but I think that might be a bit too
What you
out
could
in the
do,
open.
what you
I'd
could do
say that's
is
a bit more cliche, the car park.